I'm gonna jump down there and I'm gonna clear us a path.
What about me?
You stay here.
This is so stupid. We'd have more of a fucking chance if you let me help.
I am. You seem to know your way around a gun. You reckon you can handle that?
Well, I sort of shot a rifle before, but it was at rats.
Rats?
With BBs.
With BBs. With BBs. With BBs. With BBs.
What's happening, ghouls and goblins? Double D here for a new episode of Nerd HQ. So, today we're going to take a look at Last of Us, a survival horror game made by Naughty Dog. So you might be asking yourself, Dave, why are you filming this in a basement today? Well, you see, just like in Last of Us, we were hit by a zombie apocalypse. I hate when that happens. Anywho, just like in any apocalypse, you have to fight to survive, and get supplies and scavenge. And that's exactly what I'm doing. So, in the meantime, why don't we take a look at Last of Us and... Oh shit. Clickers. The clickers are beyond this wall. Now it's very important not to make too much noise, for any amount of noise can trigger a clicker. But I need the supplies, so it has to be dealt with. To the edge of the universe and back. Endure and survive. Excuse me? Ah! I'm winning! I'm alive. So like I was saying before I got mauled by a clicker, let's discuss The Last of Us on today, All Hallows Eve. Oh man, I am so excited to be talking about Last of Us with you guys right now. This game is a cinematic marvel. The story is beyond amazing. The story of The Last of Us is actually pretty simple. It follows Joel and Ellie in this post-apocalyptic world where Joel has to deliver Ellie to a paramilitary group known as the Fireflies. You see, the reason why he has to deliver her to the Fireflies is because she's actually immune to the zombie infection. So therefore, the Fireflies are working to create a cure for what is essentially the zombie apocalypse. So it sounds pretty simple, right? Just deliver Ellie to point A to point B. Well, it's not quite that simple in the end. Not only are Joel and Ellie faced with infected, but they also have to overcome human opponents, like David and his goons. And you know what? I'm going into a rant right here, okay? You see, David, this man, yeah, that goofy motherfucker. So I fucking finally play a game where a character's name is David, like me, and he turns out to be a fucking pedophile. Come on! He is misrepresenting any David in any game. I don't know why I'm even discussing this, but... shame! I'm cool now. So, that's basically the main gist of The Last of Us story. The story is mostly told in lengthy, sort of cutscenes, which are definitely a delight to watch. And these cutscenes can honestly be dead serious or pretty humorous, and I think it's pretty much universally praised that the cutscene you're watching right now is actually the best cutscene in the game. And that's because there is nothing huge happening in this scene. That sounds weird, but all it is Joel and Ellie communicating, talking, getting to know each other. That's it. There's no huge revelations. It's just Ellie reading a porn magazine, which is kind of weird. But besides that, and the ending, this is just such a tranquil scene, and it is so much fun to watch. It's definitely the cutscene I watched the most. And while that is definitely the funniest cutscene in the game, there is a moment of dialogue that is infinitely funnier than it. I don't know why it's funny. But for you guys right now, I am going to share the clip that makes me crack up like nobody's business. Let's roll it.
The edge of the universe and back.
Excuse me?
That's what the hero says after a big battle.
Endure and survive.
Yeah.
Oh, Goomba! That ain't so funny! What the hell's so funny about that, you dipshit? Well, you see, not everybody will find the same thing funny. Just the way he says excuse me, I personally find really funny. Excuse me? My road, you're such a freaking idiot. I know.
Excuse me?
I have problems. One would assume that the gameplay of The Last of Us is very similar to that of Uncharted, being that it's the same developer. Well, it's not quite that simple. It is true that The Last of Us does have third-person shooting, but where it differs from most third-person shooters, this one has you scavenging for ammo, because ammo, honestly, in this game is quite rare. So you have to use ammo very wisely and selectively. Also, unlike other third-person shooters, this game has a crafting system. The materials you find while exploring the world can be used to create new weapons, such as bombs, Molotov cocktails, smoke grenades, and so forth. Another gameplay implementation that's in the game is upgrading your personal character. By finding pills out in the world, you can upgrade stats such as maximum health and how fast you heal, which are definitely helpful in the later portions of the game when it gets pretty tricky. But that leaves a question. So when Joel goes to somebody's house and rummages through their cabinets and picks up some pills and downs them, isn't that a little dangerous? Like, couldn't that kill him? Alright. I feel good. I broke my nose. So like I said, you have to be very careful in The Last of Us. You can't use too much ammo. So what Last of Us does is implement a stealth system. The stealth system in the game works like this. You crouch, you go up behind somebody, you either choke them out, or you shove them. Simple as that. Also, by holding down R1, you get this whole listening system. Basically, this enables you to look through walls and corners for enemies, which is helpful, especially when you're in a room crowded by a bunch of bloodthirsty, sucking zombies. So doing the game without this key function sounds impossible, right? That takes me to grounded mode. So, grounded mode. Okay, little rant here. Grounded mode is the bane of my fucking existence. What is supposed to be a 10-hour game took me fucking 25 hours. 25 hours! And there were certain segments in the game that made me want to rip my fucking hair out. This is a fucking hard mode, people. It is brutal. It made me insane. I used to be sane, like Harry Potter, and now I'm insane in the membrane like Professor Membrane from Invader Zim. Oh man, I don't even know where to begin with this one. Okay, so let me calm down a little bit. Grounded mode is essentially extreme hard mode for The Last of Us. It will put hairs on your chest. This is a mode where you barely can shoot. You have to rely on stealth, which is pretty good. The system works well, but zombies act very sporadically. So when you're sneaking behind one, they can abruptly turn around and kill you instantly. This mode is not easy, I have to reiterate that. So the things you're seeing on screen right now with the listening mode and even the icon in the bottom right hand corner, Those are non-existent in grounded mode. You have no idea what your health is, you have no idea how much ammo you have, and to top it off, materials are very hard to come by in the world, meaning crafting is almost non-existent in grounded mode. Having said that, would I recommend people do this mode? Yeah, I would. Okay guys, the game gets very hard on grounded mode, yes. But it is like a completely different game. What was once pretty much a third-person shooter turns into a stealth game. And that little shift right there just makes experiencing grounded mode worth it. Just know, you're going to die. A lot. But whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Just a disclaimer before we begin our talk about the presentation. I'm using a really shitty laptop, which means I can't really fully showcase how great the graphics in Last of Us are. So, just know that going into this. Anywho, like I said, The Last of Us Remastered has terrific graphics. Some of the best on the PS4 actually. It runs natively at 60 frames per second, and you have an option to choose 30 frames per second, and it has a 1080p resolution, which is a step up from the 720 resolution on the PS3. Picking a specific scene to showcase The Last of Us Remastered's graphics was pretty tricky, because there's a lot of moments where you're just like... But in the end, I had to go with the giraffe scene, the tearjerker for most people. Not only is this scene emotionally draining, but just look at it. It is so gorgeous to look at. It's detailed, especially considering this originally came from a PS3 game. The lighting, the facial expressions on Joel and Ellie, everything is such a beauty to look at. And again, I'm sorry I can't fully showcase how great this game looks because, you know, I'm terrible at my job. But we won't have that problem when we discuss the music for The Last of Us. The music was recorded by Gustavo Gustavo Santa Claus. So Gustavo Santa Claus recorded the music, and as you have been listening, it's an amazing piece of work. It's honestly my favorite video game soundtrack of all time, which is definitely a bold statement, you know, since there are so many great ones out there like Zelda, Mario, so on and so forth. But the music is so freaking enamoring in this game. That's why I like it. You wouldn't think that it really belongs to a zombie apocalypse game because it could be pretty tranquil at times, but it just fits. It's one of those things that just happens. Now it's time for the best track in the entire soundtrack. Let's play the main theme. I say, this is a most encapturing book. God damn it, Bernice! How could you do that to George? George was a monkey! Get a monkey! Ah! I will never be able to understand Victorian-era social norms. You know, this music doesn't actually go with that scene at all. But you know what does?
God damn it, Bernice! How could you do that to George? George was a monkey! Get a monkey! Ah!
I'm dancing! And this brings me to my final discussion point, the replay value. So to make this short and simple, the replay value is pretty extremely high. Alright, so let's run this down. I beat single player 9 times, 3 of which were grounded mode playthroughs, and I beat multiplayer 7 times. So Honestly, I probably clocked in at about 150 hours, maybe even a little bit more, in The Last of Us, which is supposed to be a single-player game. I have no life. But anyway, as I previously mentioned, Last of Us does incorporate a multiplayer mode, and it's a lot of fun, which is quite surprising since, you know, the game is supposed to be known for its single-player mode only. But the multiplayer is really just as strong as the single player. So, having said that, let's take a look at some multiplayer footage. Oh, right. Yeah. I wasn't able to record multiplayer footage because I suck at this. So, as a poor but ready substitute, let's do a reenactment of me playing multiplayer. Alright, let's get to the lockbox, guys. Yeah, fucking got him. No. No! Somebody get to the fucking lockbox! Get to the fucking lockbox, you dipshits! Stop playing defense and get to it! I fucking just died, you idiots! Get to the lockbox! Are you kidding me right now? What the fuck is wrong with you assholes? Get to the lockbox! Get to the fucking lockbox! Oh my god! Oh my god, these guys are raping us! Thank you for stopping it! Holy fucking shit! Ah, god, I got something in my eye! Ah, god, it was probably a fucking BB! Ah! Okay. Oh, come on, how the fuck did he even do that? That rubber banding asshole! This is bullshit! This is fucking stupid! Oh my fucking god! What the fuck is wrong with this game? I really love multiplayer in this game. It is so much fun. But in all seriousness, multiplayer is a lot of fun, especially when you have a good team, and not a shitty one that doesn't go for the lockbox. Okay, so let me explain multiplayer really quick. Multiplayer has 3 game modes: Interrogation, Survivor, and Supply Raid. So, for multiplayer, you have a set group of survivors, and the goal is to survive for 12 weeks, with having at least 1 survivor. You want to get as many survivors as possible, but the goal is to have at least 1, then you complete multiplayer. You have to survive for 12 weeks. So to get more survivors, you have to basically get supplies in multiplayer matches. The more supplies you get, the more survivors you get. And that's basically the main gist of multiplayer. My biggest gripe with multiplayer, to be honest, is the lack of game modes. It only includes 3. There's Interrogation, Supply Raid, and Survivor. And Supply Raid is pretty similar to Survivor. They're both kind of like TDM matches, more or less, and they're very similar. There's not that much differences between them. Interrogation is the mode you want to do, though. In Interrogation, you have to interrogate enemy players to find out the location of the enemy lockbox, and then you have to take the enemy lockbox. So that's the main gist of Interrogation. If you want to get survivors, it's honestly the best course of action you should do. So yeah. And that's pretty much multiplayer in a nutshell. I mean, there's not really much to it, so. And that's my Last of Us review, guys. It's an excellent game. It's my favorite game of all time. I don't even think I need to give it a rating, because I'm pretty sure you all know what I'm going to say. But I honestly say it's worth 60 bucks. I think it's 30 bucks right now. Fucking buy it. You will not regret it. Even if it was 100 bucks, which is kind of absurd for a game. But still, even if it was 100 bucks, I would still say the price is justified. I mean, almost 150, 200 hours in one game. That's pretty good. So, having said that, guys, have a great Halloween. If you're trick-or-treating, don't be in the fucking middle of the road when people are driving. That's really fucking annoying. And having said that, guys, this is Double D saying, spooky, scary skeletons. The boopers. The stealth system in the game is pretty basic. Basically, you crouch, you take enemies from behind, the stealth system. I gotta say stealth. The stealth. I cannot say stealth. See, I can do it right there. But The stealth system in the last... tongue twisted. And I think this is going in the fucking bloopers. I think you need to have bloopers. That's a good idea. The stealth system in the... Okay, I have to say it slowly.